All right. I hope this thing is working all right. We got the technology happening here. Hello, everybody. I hope you can see me or hear me or something. It's Kai Pacha. I am out here at Lake Orta in the Dolomites. Very fortunate to be here in northern Italy. And it's kind of a Italian holiday here. So I'm hearing a little bit of Pink Floyd coming up from the lake, and there's going to be some fireworks later on. So I can't talk for too long. The sun is going to go down, and poof. So anyway, I am sure that so many of you are feeling the intensity of the energy that has been really happening for this eclipse season, really going on since the new moon, July 23rd. The sun went into Leo, and it's been traveling along with Mars. So it's not just the sun moving through Leo, it's the sun and Mars moving through Leo. And, you know, it's, well, yeah. I've like got all these messages scrolling across the frickin' screen on me. I don't know. That is like super distracting, man. Show live chat. Here, I'm going to hide the chat messages. I'd rather look at the lake. Sorry about that. Where was I? Well, I gotta say, I'm in Italy. I had a nice little glass of wine with some fine cheese for dinner here, and things are really amazingly beautiful. So I'm gonna try to focus here. Yeah, the intensity of the energy that we have all been feeling. I mean, let's really look at it. Let's look at it from a very cosmic perspective. I don't have my software right now, but we know that if the sun is in the sign of Leo, and we're coming into a solar eclipse, okay? The moon is blocking the sun, which is blocking the sign of Leo, which says that the earth is here, and behind us is Aquarius. Got that? Okay. So 2 weeks ago, the moon was back here at the lunar eclipse, and the moon was gathering together all of this Aquarian energy, okay? And for these last 2 weeks, okay, it's been building, coming around, and now that moon is at the north node where she is most powerful, and she is going to block the sun. Okay, the solar rays, the solar purpose, the solar energy, okay, that really kind of shields the earth and holds our atmosphere. And I mean, it's like really a very powerful, it's a break in the astral shield of earth during this eclipse tomorrow. And what that does is what? It allows everything from deep space, everything from Aquarius to like flood in. And it kind of sets the tone for the next 6 months. But I'll tell you what, it not only sets the tone for the next 6 months, it gives us a sense of the age of Aquarius that we are just now entering for the next 2,000 years. So let's talk about Aquarius, what that is. And the planet Uranus rules Aquarius in astrology. And Aquarius and Uranus have to do with the future. This archetype is like the highest of evolution of human consciousness. I associate it with the third eye. It's liberation, enlightenment, awakening, totally objective, impersonal. It's like the eagle eye view or the view of the extraterrestrial from the UFO, like way up, out and above. So it has to do with globalization, with global consciousness, okay, even with extraterrestrial consciousness. So this is very detached. And, the planet Uranus in evolutionary astrology by Jeffrey Wolf Green, the founder of evolutionary astrology, talks about the planet Uranus as the personal unconscious. And this personal unconscious brings with it, okay, everything from all of our past lives. And everything that we have suppressed and ignored and really put down about ourselves is in that personal unconscious. So like when Aquarius gets awakened, okay, this personal unconscious also holds within it all of our future potential. And so Uranus works like a lightning bolt. I associate it like with the Tower card in the Tarot, okay? It breaks open. It breaks apart. It brings sudden awareness, the aha moment, enlightenment, awakening. It can be liberating. I mean, it is liberating, whether you're ready or not, or whether you like it or not, or whether it's comfortable or not. This is not about emotional ego comfort. This is about the fullest expression of your potential in this, in this plane, in this body, at this time, and in your future life. So this is like a real foreshadowing of the next 2,000-year age of Aquarius. We're kind of getting a taste of it now as these moon's nodes move through the Leo-Aquarius axis. From last May 9th, when they first moved into Leo, and it's going to stay there for a year and a half. Yeah? So it's going to be like, October of 19. So we're really looking at the south node in Aquarius, the north node in Leo. So it's almost like a funnel coming in, okay, from Aquarius, from the galactic view, from the galactic center, from the non-human, non-emotional, non-physical. Just think of the concept. Living in the bubble or the air castle in the sky. It's coming in, coming down, and wanting, really wanting to channel itself through each and every single one of us. If we can get our little ego, to pay attention, to sit down, to assist the process, rather than want to take center stage. This is the Leo-Aquarius axis. Leo is the star of the show, and Aquarius is the director of the show. And as long as that Leo can pay attention to the director, okay, then you have a successful channeling of very high vibrational intelligence that can clean up this planet and clean up our karma and clean up our lives and make a brighter future for all of humanity. And if we stay in our little shell where we need to be the star, or we need to be, the center of attention, and we need to get our, ego, petted and, whatever, our nest feathered, we kind of get in the way, okay, of the bigger picture. Like I was saying tonight to my friend Peter, it's like we are pawns in a much larger game. Gaia has her own evolution. Our solar system has its own evolution. Our galaxy has its own evolution. And we are either on board with the greater ship of evolution, okay, or we're trying to pull off some kind of unsuccessful mutiny. And this leads to feelings of alienation, isolation, separation, depression, anxiety, despair, and possibly suicide. There is just this other side Okay, this other side of Aquarius where, you know what, it's like we are of the future or we are from the future, and we can really feel alienated and isolated from what is going on this planet, in our families, in our relationships. It's really freaking intense. I want to take this eclipse through the different houses. This morning, I did a little a rather embarrassing, video. But it did take the eclipse through the different houses to make it a little more personal for you, because each one of us is dealing with this energy according to our individual, unique soul purpose. So we've each incarnated with particular karma, with particular intention, with particular gifts that we want to bring this lifetime, and particular lessons that we want to learn. And right now, we're dealing with Leo. This eclipse in Leo is a change, okay? And it's bringing in, okay, great awareness. But with that great awareness is great power. And with that great power is a need to let go. And here's where I just want to mention. Aquarius, before they discovered Uranus, was ruled by Saturn. The patriarchy, form, structure, external authority, the past. Uranus, liberation, the future, rebellion and revolution, and individuation. In some ways, we could say that this eclipse is breaking us out of the patriarchy. It's breaking us out of our secure, solid, safe, dependable, past ways of creating a physical, financial, secure position and reputation in society. And it is wanting to liberate us, to free us, actually to kind of kick us out of the nest like a good mother bird, saying, wow, it's time for you to fly. You are awake enough. You are beautiful enough. You are ready to be more than you have been told. Get into becoming more of your own authority. Tap into your own genius. So let's look at where this is happening. If you are a Leo rising, it's probably happening in your first house. So what's happening here is that Aquarius and that lunar eclipse was in your 7th house of relationship and partnership. And this is where you're going to get the lightning bolts of shock, unpredictable events, and kind of get out of the nest, get out of the old way of doing relationship and partnership, so that you can discover a new identity. The first house is the house of identity. And this eclipse happening in your first house is saying that this is time for you to now birth and to realize new, deeper aspects and elements of yourself. And not just yourself, but like changing your identity. The first house also has to do with our instincts. It's ruled by, in the natural horoscope, Aries and Mars. This is our sexual nature. This is our impulses. This is our subconscious desires, or the animal nature within us that wants to hunt and assert and take. So this is a time now where you can like really be wanting to take. And the thing is that, you know what? The 7th house, okay, is calling you to become more objective and more aware. And the director is saying, you know what? This is time for you to be a new you. But let that new you include, this experimental, scientific, the Aquarius is the scientist in the laboratory, not attached to an agenda or to a goal, but to enlightenment and to learning. So, it's like, have your desires and have your, instinct, and get in touch, and become more aware of your masculine hunter energy. But, use it in a way to bring forth the needs of the many, the needs of the group, the needs of the whole, the needs of the partner. Don't forget the other in that situation. You see what I'm saying? Let's take it to the second house. Let's say that you're like a Cancer rising, and Leo is in your second house, and then Aquarius is in your 8th house. So then this is like taking the second house, my sense of self-worth, my ability to love myself, my capacity to survive in this physical world. This can bring around money issues. This can bring around issues of I don't feel good about myself or my body, or I don't feel capable or resourceful enough. And I want to like really engage in expanding, okay, myself through new ways and new techniques. And so what can happen here now is that South Node in Aquarius, the 8th house, is other people's support, other people's values, other people's money, even your sexual partners, and the need for intimacy. Any kind of codependence or codependent relationships that you're in right now are getting like totally annihilated. It's like shock and awe, like, oh my God, I thought I could count on you, or you'd always be there for me, or like you're my savior, or whatever. And it's like, frickin' no, man. Get your shit together. The second house, self-sufficient. This is a time for you to get your act together, make your own money. And you are worthy, and you are beautiful, and you are amazing. And the more that you realize that, the more life is going to mirror that, and you're going to be frickin' fine. So get off it and stop worrying about that shit. We move it into the 3rd house. The 3rd house is naturally Gemini. It's the lower mind. It's the left brain. Leo happening here, rebirthing, new ways of expressing itself through writing, speaking, networking. It's like, you know what? This is a time for me to like get into the city and use the gadgets, use YouTube and Facebook and, get the word out there and spread the word and, write and teach and speak. This is also just the way that I connect with my immediate environment. This can be issues that come up with brothers and sisters. This can be issues that come up with your neighbors in your immediate neighborhood. This can even be, your computer getting stolen or breaking down, or your car getting stolen or breaking down, or your bicycle. It's like the way that you are entering, the way that you are really interacting and communicating with, the here and the now, this immediate environment, okay, needs to expand and grow, because you are now and in the future to become more of a channel. Aquarius is in the 9th house. The South Node is in the 9th house. And you may get shocked, you may get awe, you may get, it's like, what? Your school burns down, your guru dies, okay? Your old beliefs about the world or what you were taught in school doesn't make sense, or doesn't matter, or doesn't work anymore. And it's like, you've got to think for yourself. You've got to really go outside Saturn, earthly authorities, and go to Uranus, extraterrestrial authorities. You got to really trust your intuition. You know what I'm saying? And you may feel like the 3rd house is like where you could possibly have a mental breakdown, like too much information. Or I'm learning this, or I need to know this, I need to know this, I need to know this, and your nervous system is going and your brain is going. It's like, knock it off. Get out of your head and allow your your brain to be an antenna, yeah, and tune into the higher radio frequencies, to the collective consciousness, instead of trying to figure out everything yourself. You're not smart enough, so forget it. Tap into it's already figured out. It's already figured out. You don't have to, break your brain trying to figure it out, man. Chill out. Slow down your nervous system and take it easy. Gemini in the third house, just gets too curious and gets too mental and gets too spun out. So, be the rat that gets off the wheel, okay, and sits and says Om. Fourth house, if this is happening in your fourth house, what's that? Leo in the fourth house would put, what? Taurus rising or something like that, Fourth house, home, roots, family, my inner child, my inner world, my introverted, scared little, being in here. And Leo in here is it wants to shine that light. It's time to have a personal life. It's time to take care of yourself. It's time to really build a home, build a nest, make yourself secure, feel those feelings that maybe what? You have ignored, avoided, feared. They're too unstable, they're too changeable, they're too feminine, or they're too seen as weakness or something by my family. Well, get over it, because what's happening is what? South Node, Aquarius, lightning bolts striking in your 10th house, okay, of external authority figures, employers, bosses, your job, your reputation, surprise, you just lost your job, or surprise, people know that you're a freak. They found out you're doing astrology on the weekend. So this can be you feel exposed, or something happens, or something blows up and your personal life gets splattered out on the front page or something like that, or but it's it's time to really own that you have fears, you have emotions, you have feelings, you have needs. You need to be emotionally connected and emotionally nurtured. This is not a bad thing, but maybe you have not really paid enough attention to it in the past. So now you're really needing, a good kick in the butt. And so things can get messed up at the office. Things can get messed up on the job, so that you have a little more time to feel into your feeling reality. Let's look at it in the 5th house. Let's say you're Aries rising and this is happening in your 5th house. Okay? Well, this is the Leo-Aquarius axis, and this is about creative self-expression, about changing your identity, and it may have to do with your kids. It may have to do with, any businesses that you've created, any artwork you've created, the life that you have created, even your physical body. It's how I express myself. It's time to express yourself more fully, wholly, and completely as a child of the sun. You are a child of the sun. You are a ray of light. You are life expressing itself through you. It's time to create. And if you're not creating, you're fucked. You know what I'm saying? Cut it out. It's not about surviving and paying bills and just getting by and meeting the demands of other people. Absolutely not. If you die, if you go to the grave without creating something, you're messed up. And you've got to come back again. It's duh. Yeah. This is a message. This is a time now. What are you creating? Look at what you are creating, And so what can happen in the 11th house? Groups, associations, communities, all your friends, that you've just been hanging out with, partying or going doing yoga together, eating sushi together or whatever, It's like, what? It's like things can get messed up. Yeah, your groups and associations, because why? It's time for you to be original. Get out of the group. Be a group of one. You are the group. Dig down inside yourself and find your original, unique, one and only self-expression. You're not getting tattooed and pierced because everybody's getting tattooed and pierced. And you're not listening to the same music everybody's listening to. It's time for you to express yourself with a capital S. Like in a whole new big way, yeah? So this is a very important time, and so you may find out, you may feel, like, wow, my life is dull or boring or people don't understand me. People don't understand you because you have not expressed yourself fully enough, clearly enough, long enough, big enough for them to get exactly who you are. So it's your own frickin' fault if you're feeling alienated and isolated. Come on, man. We got the frickin' World Wide Web. You can reach out to 8 billion people. Don't tell me nobody understands you, I mean, it's like if you're looking in the goldfish bowl and there's 2 goldfish, you're like, oh, well, these goldfish don't understand me. Well, that's because there's only 2 of them. Don't be a big fish in a little pond, man. Be a little fish in a big ocean, yeah? Let's do the 6th house, as long as I'm on a roll here. This is so ridiculous. I can't believe myself sometimes. 6th house. Leo in the 6th house. Oh yeah, 6th house. It's a house of initiation. It's the house of contribute something. It's the house of give something. It's the house of having some effort, okay? Having some work. Pay attention to your body. Come out of your air castles in the sky and your clouds and your dreams and your other lives and your meditation and get off your frickin' yoga mat and get a job. This is a very big, powerful time. Don't forget, Leo is creative. 6th house is work and service. So find creative ways. And don't call it work. What I do is not work. I don't work. Okay? Creation is fun. It's a contribution. You're a philanthropist. You're just sharing your gifts and your beauty and your medicine and your healing with all of your neighbors. It's not work. If you erase that belief or erase that concept and just look at it as a sharing of all that you are, then it becomes more of like we're putting on a play and we want it to be like super cool. Where the symphony's tuning up and we want all of our instruments finely tuned. And it's like, yeah, pay attention. This is where fine art is made. The 6th house in Virgo has to do with the details and get down to the nitty-gritty little stuff because it matters and it makes a huge difference, between something being good and something being great. And you want to do something that's great. So take your time. Pay attention to the details. And what might you find? You might find that if you're not in your body, or if you think that it's all just going to all happen by itself, and like if it's meant to be, spirit will just make it happen, you're going to get sick. Okay, you're going to go broke, you're going to get screwed up, it's not going to happen, you're going to have some kind of crisis, you're going to have some kind of issues around it, and then you can easily go into victim. Oh my God, the whole world's against me and everything's all bad or this, that, and the other thing, and it's like, no. The universe is always behind you. The universe is always supporting you, and it's supporting you in being the best person that you can possibly be and presenting the best remedies and healing and everything that you can possibly present. So it's just kicking you out of your dream. It's kicking you out of bed. It's kicking you out off the yoga mat. And it's telling you it's time for you, okay, to like be relevant, to be useful, and to meet the needs of your fellow brothers and sisters and come out of this spiritual light working stuff. Maybe get your fingers dirty or something, but like get something done. It's not all about chanting. I mean, I love chanting. I mean, we'll get to the 12th house, but you see, this is why this is very individual. According to the houses, we've all got our own program. We're all doing something different this lifetime. It's unity and diversity, and there's a great diversity. So there's a time and a place and a season for everything, and each one of us is on our own schedule. So like that's what's so freaking awesome about astrology is you get onto your own schedule. 7th house, okay? Let's say that you are what, like Aquarius rising or something, and you got Leo ruling your 7th house. Now this is just the opposite. It's time for you to shine and do and create within relationship. And so what might happen over here in this 1st house, if you're trying to be, Mr. or Mrs. Independent or Mr. and Mrs. Like da 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 da, you could get like really out there, okay, do like too much medicine or something, and turn into a messiah complex where you think you're God or something, and it's just like lose all your friends, not have any partnerships because like everybody knows you're nuts. So you could have, some identity crisis. Yeah? This is South Node, Aquarius, 1st house. Like, who am I? Where do I belong? I think that I have it all together, but, like, people are not responding the way that they should. It's like, guess what, man? 7th house, okay? This Leo in the 7th house is it's time to compromise, cooperate, listen. Venus is about listening. The 7th house in Libra is about listening. Other people have a lot to share, have a lot to, and you want to know your audience. You may be a genius and you may be bringing in something amazing, but if you can't make it presentable and beautiful and inspirational and, like attractive to people, they're not gonna get it. They're not gonna listen. They're not gonna follow. So you need to like really, it's not just knowing, it's feeling into and being one with and a part with other people. So learn about communication and balance and exchange. Maybe you need to even learn how to receive instead of just like, thinking that you're giving, da da da. And so like, do that whole balancing kind of a thing. You know what I'm saying? Let's say that you're Capricorn rising and this is happening like in your 8th house. Ooh. It's time to create power through intimate cooperation, merging and uniting with other powerful people. It's time to realize your power. It's time to pull out your wallet, or pull out your, whatever, and share it. Yeah? It's time to come out of you may get, right? 2nd house is the opposite. Aquarius in the 2nd house. South node of the moon. In Vedic astrology, the south node of the moon has to do with like evil and bad and wrong. And it's like things going bonkers, right? So where that south node of the moon is these days, and for the next year and a half, it's in Aquarius, like I said already, okay? This is having to do with that 2nd house is I've got to get out of my castle, out of my safety zone, out of being Mr. or Mrs. Self-Sufficient, and I've got my act all together, and nobody can hurt me or destroy my castle, you know, and I got all my money, my car, my house, my. Uh-uh. Second house is the house of the hermit. So you may get kicked out of your house, or you may get kicked out of your comfort zone, or you may lose all your money, or you may get into a position where, guess what? You got to humble yourself. The eighth house is humbling. Relationships are humbling. Intimacy is humbling. You've got to get on your knees, okay? You've got to ask. You've got to expose. You've got to open. You've got to trust. You've got to, you know, it's like there's somebody with more money or more power or more, you know, sex or more beauty or more intelligence. I mean, there's something that you need, that you want from somebody, and you want to create something like really outrageous. Yeah, like your twin flame comes along, or your soulmate comes along, and it's like they want you to, like, you know. So the eighth house is about transformation of self through intimate connection and union. So you have to, like, it takes guts to do that, right? You know, you come out of your shell, you come out of your castle, you expose yourself. You kind of give them your power in a way. And this power sharing is like really delicate territory, but we want to encourage you. And this can be a time now where if you're getting all kinds of crap, the message could be that you need to create, yes, deeper and fuller, and you need to go into the deeper mysteries of life and death and stop skating along the surface of materialism and get into, like, some deep shit can happen when these eclipses fall on that eighth house, second house axis. Like, people die, you know, and like big serious crap happens, you know, to like frickin' wake you up to, like, hey, duh, you know, it's more than just like your boring routine and your ordinary life. It's like, you know, do something here while you're on planet Earth. Before you die. You know, I mean, it's like we're all getting reminded. This is temporary, man. You want to make the most out of it. Ninth house. Let's say that you're in the ninth house. What are you? You know, Sagittarius rising or something? Yeah, so the ninth house, it's opposite of Gemini, all right? You know, this is where you want to create. Now we're getting into this, like, Sag through Pisces. We're getting really cosmic, okay? So, like, you know, if you're, you know, one of these rising signs and this is happening up here, it's like it's really time where, yes, you know, your third house, Aquarius, South Node, may be getting bashed, your left brain, your ideas, your communication, you know, like your email and your Facebook, and it's like, you know, you're not being able to, like, connect or do business as usual. Mercury has to do with commerce and business. Okay, third house, Gemini, Mercury. Well, guess what? This can all be screwing up on you. Why? It's kicking you to the ninth house. Look at the bigger picture, bigger consciousness. Foreign lands, foreign journeys, foreign travel, right brain, intuition. Get out of the city, get out of your nitty gritty, get, you know, put your keyboard away. Yeah, this is like really a time to create a deeper connection to natural law, to nature, to, like, really get out. I mean, check it out, man. I mean, it's getting a little nippy out here. I better wrap this sucker up, man. I've been going for too long. Where was I? 10th house. You know, if this is happening in your 10th house, okay, this is just like, again, it's the opposite. You want to be creatively expressing yourself out in the big, bad world, mama. It's time to, like, be big. It's time to become an authority. It's time to, take that promotion, take that job, take that responsibility, become the elder, become the King Arthur, the Cleopatra that says, hey, this is right, this is wrong, this is good, this is bad, this is going to succeed, this is going to fail, this is like going to, this is real, this is imaginary. Capricorn, 10th house, this is the time, this is the place, yeah, for you to like get serious. And what can happen? Things can happen at home, with the family, with your personal life, okay, that just say, you know what, get out of the house, okay, stop taking care of everybody else. It's time to like look at the world. The world needs you. Your community needs you. Okay, there's more than just your personal world, more than just your little family and your little house and your little nest. It's like you've got a big job to do. So get on it. And this energy that will be coming through Aquarius, okay, coming through your personal unconscious, coming through the collective consciousness will support you. This is really, I want to really stress, the positivity happening, through these eclipses. And at the end I'll modify that. 11th house, let's wrap it up, man. Okay, again, this is like even bigger than the 10th house. Okay, it's time for you to step out, raise people's eyebrows, drop people's jaws, blows people's minds, start the revolution, get on the internet, disclosure project, or, WikiLeaks or whatever. This is really a time for you to go global. This is a time for you to really listen, open that third eye, okay, get into places, okay, and associations and groups of people and community. This is, the age of Aquarius is not happening for individuals. Nobody's getting to the age of Aquarius alone. Aquarius is about community. And this is time for you to build community, find your tribe, build your community, and fricking get to town. It's time to invent and reinvent, yeah? And invent yourself anew and come up with new ideas. Start brainstorming, man. And if you can't brainstorm alone, or you think you're stupid or something, hang out with some other people that are brainstorming. That's what community is about, because we stimulate each other and we give each other ideas, and it's just like you're talking to people and all of a sudden, oh yeah, oh wow, oh that's that, yeah, hello, that's community, man. Now if this is in your 12th house, whoa, baby, super powerful, but of a different nature, okay? This is just like saying it's really time now, okay? Leo in the 12th house, okay? The solar eclipse happening in the 12th house. The 12th house is the last house, the final house. And it's time, and Leo is about creating. This is about creating a spiritual practice. This is about creating a channel to the divine. This is about creating, like a spiritual reality. And it may involve withdrawing. It may involve stepping back. It may involve, really going deep down into your personal shadow work or your personal inner world and letting go. Letting go of responsibility, of family, of job, of kids, of home, of roots, of your country, of your past. I mean, whoa, this is just like, let go and let spirit. Let spirit, really guide you. You are to become more of a medium. You are to really start channeling more and more Reiki, more and more divine light, more and more divine energy for Gaia. And it's really important for you, okay, to get your ego out of the way that wants to make things or fix things or, get all, into it. It's really time to surrender. Surrender to what life brings you, to surrender to what Spirit wants of you. And through your meditative practice, you will be guided. Trust, believe, and know that Spirit will guide you if you shut up and listen. Oh, God. So the last thing that I wanted to close with here, is just really about, tomorrow is this solar eclipse. It's a very powerful time. And it is in the sign of Leo, and I don't know what you've heard on the internet or, with your friends, or it's like, oh, let's get our special glasses and get, a case of beer and go out and look at the eclipse or something, I mean, this is totally not what it is about. Like I began this, sharing, okay, this is a very big cosmic solar system galactic event, okay? This only happens once a year on the north node. We have a south node eclipse, but they go north node, south node, north node, south node. There's only one north node total solar eclipse every year, and sometimes it's not even total. So this is a very powerful time, and we know it hasn't happened in 30 some years in the United States, and so it's like even more, potent for the path that it crosses on. But I just want to stress the importance of this being an internal experience. I encourage you, eat lightly, fast, meditate, spend some time alone. Go into your Leo self. This moon is very powerful now. It's bringing up a lot of our impulses, our instinctive, habitual patterns that need to be broken, our obsessive, compulsive, unconscious, childish, selfish, opportunist, just like some of the most base, primitive instincts arising up within us now. And this is a time, where it's like a lot of chaos is coming from deep space. And it's really, it's a time of really seeing ourselves. And that requires attention and awareness to what's going on within, and not being so distracted by the physical phenomena or by, the groups and the friends and the parking and the cars and the hotels and how we're going to, get right in the line of it and da-da-da-da-da. It's very chaotic energy that you are best to not look at it. You are best to really, it's disconcerting, It can really pull you out of your center. It can pull you out into the tornado, out into the hurricane, out into the storm. So if anything, you just really want to use this as a time of really strengthening, your inner center, your inner core, tapping into your own inner creative genius, and taking all of that to the greatest advantage. I wish you the very best total solar eclipse tomorrow, and more power to ya. Namaste. Aloha. So much eclipse. Ah!